Here we go. Is Classic dying? Oh no.
Joyous Journeys is returning to Wrath of the Lich King here very soon to help people level up their alts to 80 in Classic World of Warcraft. But what does this buff
Joyous Journeys never should have gone away.
mean for Wrath of the Lich King and the people who are currently playing it? Is Classic WoW struggling so much lately since Dragonflight came out that Blizzard needs to incentivize players to come back to Wrath of the Lich King, especially since Ulduar is around the corner? Well, today
I think the truth is people just don't want to invest an exorbitant amount of time in leveling another character, especially a character that they probably already have a max level of in another circumstance. Like whether it's they already have a max level Warlock in retail WoW, they don't want to have to level a max level Warlock again in Classic. That's one of the big things. So yeah, making it easy to level alts is a good thing.
we're going to take to the community as well as the data that we've gotten through our research to find out what exactly has happened to Classic WoW since Dragonflight's release, and to talk about what it means for this Joyous Journey buff to be returning to Wrath of the Lich King so early.
Let's see it.
So what lies in store for the future of Classic? Well, let's find out. So to begin, what is Joyous Journeys for those that don't know? Well, it was a server-wide buff that was added originally to the Burning Crusade realms a few weeks before the 3.4 Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch came to the game. And what this buff did is it granted everybody who was not level cap a 50% increase to experience gains from all sources until the release of Wrath of the Lich King.
It was so fun. Like, I leveled 2 characters with this buff. It was actually enjoyable to do.
September 26, 2022. Now, the reason Blizzard released this unexpected buff, the logic behind it, was to help people level up their alts and prepare themselves more appropriately for the release of the newest expansion of Classic WoW, Wrath of the Lich King. Which Blizzard, I'm sure, was sitting here thinking that it was going to be a massive success. A lot of people are going to want to play it. A lot of people were coming to the game to check it out. You know, veteran players from back in the day, new players, whatever. So it was just to help them.
Wrath of the Lich King was like that was the high point in WoW. That was the point where a lot of people came in and started playing WoW. It was the highest subscription. It was the highest awareness of the game in popular media. It was just huge. Everybody talked about WoW. Everybody played WoW. People were getting into WoW. It was like a cultural phenomenon at that point.
You know, get to Wrath. Because let's be real, leveling in Classic WoW, it takes a long time. You can burn out on it pretty easy, to the point that there are leveling guides that pollute the internet on how to level faster. I mean, even me, I made a leveling tips video just a few months ago, which you guys can watch after this one for those of you that are interested in leveling faster in World of Warcraft. The point is, though, is that Joyous Journeys, I think, was supposed to allow people to get to max level as fast as possible without suffering too much of a burnout. And if you didn't want to use it, Innkeeper...
I think that it's just it's a unpleasant experience to have to go back and forth to different zones and ping pong just to do different quests to level up to do the other quests.
Could disable Joyous Journeys, however, for those that wanted to just level normally. Well, how did the player base respond to this buff?
They loved it.
You might be wondering.
I'm gonna quit! I'm gonna quit right now! I'm just gonna quit! I'm gonna log out and I'm gonna cancel my subscription! I'm gonna quit! I'm gonna quit right now! I'm never gonna play WoW again after this!
Most reasonable Horde player.
They absolutely loved it. It was an awesome tool to help people level. We even did some searching on the internet, and there really wasn't much hate to be found for Joyous Journeys, except from, Classic WoW purists, but that's not surprising, really.
Classic Andes ruin everything. This is not a surprise. They ruined my stream, they ruined Classic, they tried to ruin Burning Crusade, and now they've pretty much all gone extinct in Wrath of the Lich King, so the game's fun again.
Saw so much positive reception of the buff that some players began to petition
they ruined the economy,
asking for Joyous Journeys to just become a permanent part of the Classic experience. Or to maybe somehow remove heirlooms and have Joyous Journeys become like a purchasable or earnable buff for players. You can see an example of a thread right here where a lot of suggestions were offered. Some people saying, maybe once you hit max level on your main, all your alts automatically get Joyous Journeys.
That's exactly what they should do. Actually, no. I think you should get it at the beginning. You should get it for your first character as well. Why should somebody have to play a more drawn-out version of the leveling process that's less fun?
Make it so that you can purchase permanent experience boosts for your alts, not in the form of gear like heirlooms, but just like a progressively upgrading buff that you can buy that exists on your alts. But anyway, as mentioned earlier in the video, Joyous Journeys was originally for the end of Burning Crusade to prepare for Wrath of the Lich King. But here's the thing, we're seeing it return to Wrath of the Lich King before the very first patch of it comes out, the Ulduar patch. From December 13th of this year to January 16th of 2023.
I guarantee you why I think this happened is because Blizzard looked at how many people are making characters and then they stopped playing at like level 36 or 56. And they're like, okay, well, this isn't working because people come into the game and then they don't get to 80 and they quit. This is bad. So we're going to change the way it works. That's what they should do.
Joyous Journeys will return to Wrath of the Lich King to help players level up their alts, giving them time also to gear them up and prepare for the upcoming release of Ulduar. At least, I mean, that's what most people are assuming. The reason why I say that is because, to be fair, we don't know exactly when Phase 2 of Wrath of the Lich King will begin, but according to Blizzard Watch, this screenshot here on your screen, we might see Phase 2 of Wrath of the Lich King sometime in mid-January, but I
think that's totally fine. That's totally okay. Mid-January, that's like a month from now. That honestly makes me kind of want to play Wrath Classic a little bit more. Because I want to get in there and actually try to do like the get all the best in slot gear. So whenever Ulduar comes out, I'll be ready to just big dick it. Like maybe we could do that like next week. We could do our first classic WoW mainstream Nax run and get that fucking axe.
All speculation right now. So what do people think about Joyous Journeys returning so early in Wrath of the Lich King compared to maybe at the end before Classic Cataclysm? Or
yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think they should put in right now. Yeah, they're making the right call. And also, yeah, the reason we also need to do it is basically what happened is McConnell, the guild put McConnell in a really bad place. And what they did is that McConnell was going to the raids, and instead of just being looted the gear, he was having to roll for it. And he lost the roll on an item that he wanted, and so he quit. And now he wants me to come back, and he wants me to start raid looting again, so I'll give him all the gear. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, and so, like, obviously, there's been a guild mutiny, now they're rolling for gear and making sure that, like, the right people get the gear. Like, it's just all kinds of fucked up. And so we've got to get back in there and make things, set things right.
Classic Plus, or I mean, whatever Blizzard has planned next. Well, Classic players seem to be overwhelmingly positive about the sudden return of the buff. A surprise, to be sure, considering it's returning so soon, but it is a welcome one. But now the question remains, what does this mean for Wrath of the Lich King? Is Wrath struggling since the release of Dragonflight to the point that Blizzard needs to incentivize people to return to the game? Well, first of all, yeah.
Game's dead. It's dead. Sorry, guys. We had a good run. Everything was fun, but yeah, it's fucking dead.
I mean, new expansions, of course, would put a little bit of a dent in Classic WoW's population. New expansions in the modern game.
Well, because like no meme, that's the way that it works. Is that people go in, they play retail WoW, they play Classic WoW. How many of you guys play both versions of WoW? Whichever one has like new content coming out. You know, you're playing Dragonflight right now. You're gonna go and play Ulduar when it comes out. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are like this, and this is why WoW having Classic is such a great thing for it. Is that whenever Dragonflight, you kind of hit your apex or your plateau in Season 1, well, then Ulduar is going to be out. And WoW retains your subscription because you are still playing World of Warcraft, even if it's a different version. This is one of the, like not talked about very often, massive advantages of Classic, is it continues to provide a value add for people that are subscribed. It's kind of like this, right? So you can have, let's assume, like, this is retail WoW, okay? And, like, this is the patch cycle for retail WoW, and this is the patch cycle for Classic WoW. So, like, right here, there's content. Right here, there's content. And, like, this is retail WoW content. This is Classic content. This is retail content. This is Classic content. So you keep that interest going all the time. And I think that's another reason, by the way, why I hope that if Microsoft does acquire Blizzard, that fucking Warcraft will go on to Game Pass. Because if it goes on to Game Pass, that is a higher value add, and it will keep people more subscribed to the game. Like, for example, how many of you guys were going to go back to playing WoW, but you just didn't want to pay the sub for the month? You're like, oh, I wish I could just try it out and just see what this is like and just, like, play super casually, but it's not worth $15 for me. See, like, that is the thing they need to solve, because that is a huge problem, because it's literally a barrier to entry.
Before you jump the gun and assume that this is why Blizzard is putting out Joyous Journeys so early, according to the data, this really doesn't appear to be the case. According to this website, Classic WoW's daily player population, if this website is believed and is
it's clearly not. It says it has 27 million subscribers. Like, I mean, come the fuck on. Like, obviously that's not what's going on. Like, I'm not going to believe that for a second. Like, all of these secondary and third-party websites are just fucking bullshit.
Considered to be accurate, it is estimated to having a little over 1 million daily active players. Not subscribers, mind you, but active daily players. And this number that you're looking at on your screen comes from this month in December after Dragonflight's release. Now let's look at Dragonflight.
Yeah, that number, in my opinion, here, I'll actually give you guys, let me tell you how many people are playing Wrath of the Lich King right now. Let's see. Oh, there's some letters in there. That's how many people are playing Wrath right now and are subscribed to the game. It's 9,082,000 people that are currently online in Wrath of the Lich King. Yep, there you go. So, yeah, if any of those websites need me to get those numbers to them, just let me know. I can make those all day.
Dragonflight, on the other hand, according to data taken from the pre-patch, mind you, has an active player population of 2.3 million players per day. And it's quite possible that this number has gone up somewhat since the release of the expansion. That would just make sense.
Yeah.
Now, with these two variables established, it's very unlikely that Blizzard is doing the whole Joyous Journeys thing because Classic WoW is dying or is in danger or whatever. Because, let's be real, despite Dragonflight being received so well, there are a lot of people who are not willing yet to give it a chance due to
Well, listen, the problem is that classic Andes, they're like woolly mammoths. They're big, they're slow, it takes them a long time to get around, and you know, it's just it's hard for them to they're hairy, they got gray all over them, like it's hard for them to do shit, right? And, you know, Dragonflight is like, this dragon's moving around, so, oh, fuck, I can't control this shit, oh my god. And then you go into Mythic Plus, it's like, what are all these mechanics? What is this? You go into the raid, it's like, oh my god, it's fucking 10 different mechanics at the same time. And they're done, man. So yeah, Classic WoW is perfect for them. It's an easier version of the game that has a lot of the fundamental good things the game used to have, and it's a great thing. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people that play, like, my mom was a great example of this, is that she stopped raiding in WoW because raiding just got too hard for her, right? She had eyesight problems. Now, bro, like, she was balling out in Karazhan. She was dropping, like, massive fucking Starfire nukes in Nax. But by the time, like, Cataclysm came out and, like, that Blackwing Descent shit happened, she's like, I'm not doing that Ulduar shit. Like, not even Ulduar stuff. Nope. Fuck that. That's just way too hard.
Previous expansion letdowns. If you want a good example of this, go check out any of my Dragonflight video content on this channel and look at the comment section. There's a lot of people like this. It might take a few expansions before Blizzard truly recovers their reputation of only releasing the best of the best, which they used to have, earning back the...
Blizzard has been doing a good job at at recovering that reputation. Dragonflight has been a W. I think that Wrath of the Lich King Classic has been managed very well. And it seems like Diablo 4 is going in a good direction.
Trust of their communities. So it's really no surprise that I would say that many people are just going to be sticking to Classic WoW or other MMOs and not giving Dragonflight the chance that maybe it deserves after all the work.
Well, it's also that, like, the game is just more complex and harder to understand because there's 15 years of nuances that that retail WoW has. I would love if Blizzard was like, yeah, we're making WoW 2, that's it, all your stuff's deleted, we're going to start over. Like, I would love that. Like, and yeah, WoW 2 could suck, but I'd be willing to take that chance. That'd be fucking awesome. They should have. That's what I said. They should have done it in Shadowlands. They could have done it in WoD too.
That was put into it. If you want my opinion in this, I believe that Blizzard is bringing back Joyous Journeys so early to Wrath of the Lich King really because of a shift in the players' mentalities over the years. Players want to level faster. They want to get to endgame as quick as possible because the level up process, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that just don't value it like people did back in the day. Some certainly.
I think that some people value the leveling experience, but almost nobody values it twice, and 3 times, and 4 times, and 5 times. So, like, I think that there is value with leveling up your character the first time. It's kind of like what Nixium was talking about in his other video, where he was talking about how you had to complete the entire quest line for Dragonflight in order to unlock certain things, and I said that was a good thing. It's good that people actually have a reason to continue playing the game and continue working towards it. So, of course, that's good. Or, sorry, to actually, like, finish the content. But I said, like, if you have to do it 2 times, then it sucks. So, making it to where it's easier to level secondary characters, and, like, most people now have either already played Classic WoW and are making alts, or, you know, they weren't going to play it even, you know, unless they got this buff, maybe. It just seems like the obvious good decision.
I do, for example, but I know there's people out there probably in the comments section of this video that will say, no, I really love the leveling. But we have to admit that
it's just not reflected in player behavior. The way that people talk about what they want to do is different than what they actually want to do. That's the issue, is that you can never listen to what players say. You have to listen to what they do, because players will say they like something and then not engage with it.
A lot of players, probably the majority, just want to get to level cap as fast as possible. Maybe not too fast though, so this 50% experience bonus is a good compromise. We also have to consider that Joyous Journeys has been received very well compared to something like Heirlooms, which heirlooms are still a little bit of a controversial topic within the game. Were they a good idea? Were they a bad idea?
I don't like heirlooms. I wish that heirlooms were just used. They were like, basically like, imagine you just had one tabard and the tabard just got more powerful the more heirlooms you put into the tabard. That way you could still feel good whenever you're leveling up and you get armor and gear while you're leveling. I think that leveling up and then getting that new piece of gear that makes your character more powerful feels really good, rather than having the entire gear progression metric of the game just be deleted with heirlooms.
Maybe it's an idea that needs to be expanded upon or reworked. I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you guys think about heirlooms? Let us know in the comments section down below. And also, I think the reason why they're releasing Joyous Journeys is just to help classic players prepare for Ulduar.
Yeah.
And that's it. The population...
Yeah, like some people made a mistake and they decided to play a Ret Paladin or something, or, you know, to be honest, also a warrior, and they're not going prot. So, yeah, they've got to have Joyous Journeys so these people can actually go back and make the right decision and go play a Warlock.
Is fine. People just want to get to level cap faster. Ulduar's on the way. People were very positive towards Joyous Journeys in the past.
They sure were.
And Blizzard is just like, well, screw it. Let's just bring it back. Instead of at the end of Wrath of the Lich King, let's just bring it back now. So, in conclusion, on December 13th, we will see the return of this buff to a thankful Classic WoW population. And although the first instinct might be to assume that Blizzard is just trying to get people back on a Classic to keep it alive because it's dying,
that's not a bad thing for Blizzard to want people to go back to the game. It makes sense.
Or it's in danger, the numbers show that that just really isn't the case. Classic WoW is doing just fine, everyone.
Yeah.
It's doing fine. It's doing great. People
so the
are
game's dead,
fun.
basically.
So all that said, if you're planning on leveling an alt in Wrath of the Lich King with Joyous Journeys, be sure to watch this video on your screen where I share the best tips for leveling in World of Warcraft based on all my years of experience. They're easy to follow, good fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in Northrend.
That's nice. Yeah, I think that's a nice video overall. Where did you get those numbers from your ass? No, the reason why he's saying that is because it's actually true. There are way more people that are parsing and playing the raids in Classic WoW. Do you guys want to see? I'll show you. So let's go back over here, and we will look at Warcraft logs. And this is how many people are actually playing Classic WoW. So we'll go to Classic, and let me open this up. Wait, how the fuck? Okay, raids. Yeah, there we go. And then we will look at statistics. Let's go ahead and pull this up for, I guess, statistics for Patchwork. Why not? So these are the amount of people that are playing Classic WoW. 100,000 parses. And this is, by the way, only in the last 2 weeks. And this is for Nax Ramas and like all of the tier 7 content here. We're looking at over 100,000 people, almost 200,000 people, 160 for, what is this here? Druid Warlock. Or sorry, Druid right there. Warlock, Mage, Arcane is 178. This is a massive amount of people playing these classes. Look at this. Yeah, it's very low. No, it's not. And so I'll compare it to retail WoW so you guys can see the difference, okay? So this is what Sepulcher was whenever it came out. And let's see if I can even do that. Let's see. How do I even change this? Classic. We'll just go to warcraftlogs.com basically. And raids. Expansions Dragonfight. We're going to look at Shadowlands. And I will look at statistics for Sepulcher and Sanctum of Domination, okay? So these are the amount of people that parsed in the last 2 weeks of Mythic Sepulcher. So it's like a couple thousand people for each person, for each different group. Now this is on Mythic. Let's look at Heroic, and this is also with a FOMO. Oh, apparently it's not there. That's too bad. Normal. Yeah, apparently I guess they've only held on to Mythic. But yeah, it's just way less popular. I don't know really what else to say. Is that, yeah, those numbers might seem low to you, but whenever you compare them to what it's like for retail WoW, it's just actually much, much higher. And it's because retail WoW is too hard. Straight up. I think that is the reason. Retail WoW is too fucking hard. And I get that there are people that play the game all the time, and they can understand that. They can pick up on everything. It's totally fine. But the truth is that for most people, there's a reason why Classic is so fucking popular. That's the reason. Check Ironforge for more stats. Sure, I'll check Ironforge Pro for more stats. Make sure to give Nixium a sub, give the video a like, etc. I love his classic WoW videos. He's as nostalgic about Wrath as I am, and so, yeah, I fucking love him. Anyway, let's go back over here. Ironforge.pro. Okay. So, yeah, if you look at Ironforge Pro, which is a server that aggregates data for classic WoW, let's see if I can find this out. Arena Ladders Log Analyzer, is this it? No, that's not it. Demographics, maybe? How do I find it? Yeah, how do I find this information? Because I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision on this. Warcraft logs, PvP leaderboards. Click on all. All for what? I don't see all. I'm top 5 DPS in Wretch and Ulduar. Stats are for losers. Proves nothing whenever I play Wretch Paladin. Yeah, because the other people you're playing with are shit. That's why. And so... all selected realms, maybe? Oh, there it is. Thank you. I've never seen that before. So this is in classic, yeah, this is like classic WoW. As you can see here, there's obviously a lot of people raiding here, classic WoW. I'm pretty sure this one right here is BWL release. And then things just kind of go down as raiding gets harder and world buff meta becomes more, more focused. Then Ulduar, actually, no, this isn't Ulduar. This is, this is Burning Crusade comes out. A lot of people raiding in Burning Crusade. This is probably somewhere around tier 6. Things are going down in Sunwell. And then Wrath of the Lich King comes out. Shit pops the fuck off. There are more people raiding this week in Wrath of the Lich King than raided in BWL during Classic WoW. That's how big and how popular Wrath is. You said Wrath would last a week? Well, it did for me, right? I'm not a continuous player of this content. I've already done it before. Yeah, it did. I played Wrath for a week. I beat all the content, and that was it.